These are fashion mistakes making you look old and outdated. I know, cue the booze and the rotten tomatoes. But these are just my opinions, guys. Just my opinions. Take it or leave it. If you love this stuff, just wear it. Number one, unfortunately, you're looking old and outdated if you're wearing the wrong jeans with your boots. And as always, I like to give an example of what I'm talking about, just so you can kind of better see if maybe that is what you do. And then I like to offer a solution, like a better styling solution that will hopefully just make you look more up to date and youthful. So you probably just saw what I was talking about, but when women wear jeans that are even a little bit loose and then try to stuff them into boots, it just looks bad. It makes you look old. It makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. So you could bust those skinny jeans back out. They're not out completely because they look great with boots. It makes you look slim. It's really youthful looking. Or you could wear straight leg pants and put them over top of the boots. That is also a wonderful look that is youthful. Now, speaking of loose fitting jeans, that leads me to number two, which is loose fitting boot cut jeans. And this is kind of specific. It was hard to find an example of what I was talking about, but I do see older people wear this sometimes, and I don't think they realize it kind of ages them. And so if you do have boot cut jeans, make sure they're not too loose in the thighs. And they need to be a little bit tighter around the thighs, and that's when they look really good. That's when they look really stylish. But shoes also make a difference. So here I have a pair of boot cut jeans. I love these jeans, but if I am pairing them with sneakers, this is gonna make me look older than I am. So if you're wearing boot cut or even like slightly flared jeans with sneakers, maybe not so good. Now, if it's the winter, you could try them with block-heeled boots. And then if it's the summer, maybe you could try some heeled sandals. They don't have to be super high heels. You just want to avoid the jean puddling at the bottom. Number three. Now, this is ironic because it's kind of exactly opposite of what I just said. But if you do go into an office, maybe you have like a professional job where you dress up every day. If you are still wearing skinny dress pants like that are tighter, that is definitely an outdated look. The loose, more baggy, just flowy work pants or work trousers are way more youthful. Again, it's really weird because I feel like that's exactly opposite of what I just said, but hopefully you can kind of tell the difference in these photos. Now, this next fashion mistake, I honestly don't even see that many older people even trying or even wanting to wear. I think half of it is they don't think they could pull it off, but it has to do with socks. So they're just kind of still stuck on only wearing no-show socks, which is fine. But sometimes I do see people trying to pull off the crew socks or the taller socks with their sneakers, because that is definitely more in. It is more youthful, but sometimes I'll see them doing it kind of wrong. So I wanted to show the difference. So if you want to wear crew socks or higher tall socks with sneakers, make sure you're wearing chunkier sneakers, because when you're wearing really slim or low sneakers like these Sambas, like Sambas are so in, but the proportions are a little bit off when you try to pair them with taller socks. And so here's an example of these New Balance sneakers, which I love them. I can link them below. They're so comfortable, guys, but they're a little bit chunkier and they pair so much better with taller socks. Next, let's talk about big and bright floral patterns. Emphasis on the bright, because I've definitely talked before about how wearing big floral patterns that are bold can age you, but I've started to kind of realize that it's more when they're really neon and bright against maybe a black background. That's more what makes you look old and outdated versus maybe the big floral style, because there's definitely some very stylish, bold floral patterns out there that can look very youthful, but I feel like they're a little bit more subdued or neutral or just not in your face compared to the neon versions. Like the neon against black is just kind of the old and outdated pattern. So that leads me to this particular style of dress that you're seeing here on the screen. I see so many older women wearing this style of dress all the time. And I do get it, because I do think it's flattering. It gives you a waistline, but it covers up your arms and a lot of problem areas. And it's not, old and frumpy looking, but it almost always comes in these really loud, flamboyant neon floral colors. Like almost always, like 9 times out of 10. I really think you'd be better off in specifically finding it and buying it in a solid color, and that's what'll make the difference between old and outdated and young and youthful. Now, chiffon dresses, on the other hand, I don't care what style it is, I don't care how old you are, there's something about chiffon, in my opinion, that really does age you. So here's some examples of what I mean. And this pink dress, there's also things to keep in mind with pink. I love pink, but certain shades definitely will drain the blood out of your face, and depending on on your skin tone. Like, I just don't think this is a good color for most people. But there are some things that you can do. Like, I know a lot of people like to wear chiffon to weddings, like especially if you're in a wedding. Here's some examples of some chiffon shawls. So this is the bad version. Like, this just looks kind of frumpy. It looks like an older style. You're like trying to like, you know, cover up your arms and like, you know, that's kind of the point. But here's an example of a good shawl that still hides problem areas, but in such a more stylish way, in such a more youthful way. Like, there's just a night and day difference here. Hopefully you can kind of tell. Now, I know people don't subscribe to YouTube channels nearly as much as they used to, but if you're enjoying this video even the tiniest bit, I would love for you to subscribe down below. It actually really helps out my channel. The next thing that you might be wearing that is unfortunately aging you is fake cable knit sweaters. So this is an example of what I'm talking about, and I'm just seeing this more and more, and I usually do see it on older women. So I don't know if certain stores or retailers are starting to do this to cut costs, because it's not a real cable knit sweater. It's just kind of like a pattern that's like put on top of a sweater. So I would just say try to stick to real cable knit sweaters. This is an example, like you guys all know what I mean, but if you do want to give it a more youthful look, try styling it with a white t-shirt or like a white crew neck underneath. That actually does make it look a little bit younger and more in style. Now, another sweater you should just stay away from. Honestly, any sweater is better than this. It's the multicolored sweaters like this one. It's kind of like a confetti birthday cake. All the fibers are different colors, just marbled all together. This is the epitome of old and outdated. But let's swing back around and talk about light versus dark wash jeans and what that means for what tops you're pairing with them. If you're wearing light wash jeans, but pairing it with a super dark top, it can actually age you. So here's an example of what I mean. Light wash jeans with a really dark brown sweater, okay? It doesn't look great. It's not exactly terrible, but it could look so much better if you wear the exact same, like here I'm wearing the exact same sweater, but it's a lighter version and the same light wash jeans, but it looks so much better. It looks more youthful, light, and fresh. But if you do wanna wear that brown top, like obviously wear dark colors, that's fine, but you need to also then pair it with darker bottoms. I just wanted to like give you a visual example of what I'm talking about. I really do think this makes a bigger impact than what people realize. Now let's switch gears here and talk about belts, or more specifically, dated belts. And this isn't the worst one. Like, this isn't something that I probably noticed that much on people, but I think that belts are always in style, yet there's so many that are always out of style too. It's just like a constant rotation. And that's why I don't like spending a lot of money on designer belts. Like this Gucci one that I how much was this? $350 freaking dollars probably. Now when I wear it, which I don't wear it, because it is so out of style. Then there's the Gucci inspired belts where it doesn't say the GGs, but it's trying to kind of simulate that a little bit with the design of the buckle. Again, this really isn't that bad. It does just date you a little bit. The newer belts right now that do look more youthful are the Western inspired belts and the studded belts. These were so inexpensive so that when they are out of style in 2 or 3 years, who really cares? But I did want to cover that because the next fashion mistake is simply not accessorizing enough. I really believe the more you accessorize an outfit, the younger you look. So here is a before shot of me. Like, I don't think this is terrible. I'm wearing actually like a stylish white t-shirt. It's higher neckline, like it is a stylish shirt with a pair of jeans and a pair of black boots. Not bad. Half the time I do this, I just put on clothes, you know, it looks good and I leave. But if you just take an extra 5 minutes and try to accessorize as much as you can, and you can remove things if you think it's too much, but I really think this it changes everything. So I added a belt, I added a necklace set, and I added sunglasses and a bag. And it's literally the same outfit with accessories, and look how much younger I instantly look. So I hope this video was kind of helpful, maybe educational, maybe just entertaining. I don't know. Please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.